NMBT, National Muslim Basketball Tour.
First and foremost, start by praising Allah Azza wa Jalla and sending peace and blessings upon His most beloved Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Jazakallah khair. First, Jazakallah khair for Muhammad. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. First, I'm not Sheikh, so you guys can just. I'm more of a peer, probably. You guys, I could be somebody's son in here, probably. But just like Jazakallah khair, brother Muhammad, organizing beautiful events like this. I know a lot of beauty in Muslims traveling all across the country or from Toronto or other countries or other to come together and do something productive and beneficial and to try to network and build bonds and build love and friendship with one another. That's really the core of the message of Islam, right? It's at the essence, at the core of it, it was built on bonds and friendships and love for people that had for one another. Right? Other than that, if there's no, if you're San Antonio Holmes, I'll give you a Jets reference because I love the Jets. Right? If you're San Antonio Holmes, if you guys don't know who San Antonio is, watch some football. San Antonio, it's like if you're San Antonio, you're gonna divide the locker room. You guys play team sports. We're all used to. If there's one bad apple on the team, it's like it ruins the whole mesh, the whole chemistry. He doesn't cut when he has to. He doesn't pop out. He doesn't scream when he has to. It's like we lost because of you. You're the bad apple. But maybe, subhanAllah, it could have been because of some chemistry issues, right? Chemistry is just love and connection and bond. I understand him. When people click, they know how to work together. They're synchronized on the court and off the court. That's when they're the most productive, subhanAllah, the most beneficial, right? And that's something that we need to create as Muslims. That's something we don't have, especially. I can understand maybe from our elders, our parents, my parents, immigrants, or it's like maybe they don't have that because of whatever issues where they came from. But us younger generation, it's like it should be easy. It should be easy to click. It should be easy to love one another and connect with one another and not have ego and arrogance. And that should be easy. Of course, we need to commit to the deen, right? That's the important thing. If the deen is not our core, if that's not where our foundation is, nobody likes each other. We just drive-bys and, I hustle him for his money and, he sells good weed on the corner, right? That's the only relationship people have nowadays. It's like, what can I get out of him? But subhanAllah, Muslims, that's not the core that we were built on. We were built on love and compassion and, building chemistry with one another to achieve great things. So I want to talk about two very important things. Number one, obviously you guys are here doing something that's of physical nature. I don't think sometimes we don't get this message, but Allah, He loves people that are physically powerful, There's a story, it's a beautiful story about Prophet Musa alayhi salam. His people used to make fun of him. Prophet Musa was very modest. So he didn't used to show like any of his body, like none of his body ever was shown. He used to cover every part of his body. So his people, they started to spread rumors about him. Oh, maybe he's got a skin disease. Maybe he's, he's this, he's that. He's physically unfit. They started to, name all these names, ridiculing him. So then Allah, He wanted to show them how powerful Musa was, one of the most powerful prophets, right, physically. And so He had Moses. Maybe we've heard the story, but it's the story of the Prophet ﷺ, that Musa, he put his clothes. He went to take a bath, and he put his clothes on the rock, and he was taking a bath behind the rock, and then Allah empowered the rock to run away. And then Musa starts to run after it. And then when his people saw him, they said he was the most physically fit out of all of us. SubhanAllah, every prophet that was sent, not just knowledge or just faith and spirituality, but also that physical nature was in every prophet. From Muhammad to Joseph, who was the most beautiful, to Musa, to Isa, who was one of the most beautiful, they were all physically fit. Because that's an important part of our life, of our deen, that we're physically fit in nature, right? So those that do activities like this, right? And I'm saying not only Muhammad and Harun, Jazakallah khair, and the guys that organize NMBT, but the guys that go home, back to your city. Is that an integral part of our community? Like, right, physical fitness, right? Is it something that we work on? And definitely, I mean, working with guys and, Muhammad, just working always with young guys, you always see that they don't like coming to the masjid, man. It's like the masjid is not where they want to be. It's not where they want to chill. They'd be like, okay, so what is the alternative that we can provide as a community for people to come in, learn the basics of the deen, and yet still chill? like any physical activities, wallahi. Any physical activities bring young people in. And if we're just going to rely on Muhammad, Muhammad, hook up NMBT in my city, like, no, that doesn't work that way. Even though Jazakallah khair to all the organizers, but everybody's got to take the responsibility back to their home. Everybody's got to take the responsibility back to their, even if they're, I'm not trying to say, break off from the community. Alhamdulillah, what we do at the Youth Center in Brooklyn is everything is youth-based. Everything is young people-based, right? But definitely the sports element that's the greatest thing. But in our other communities, I know across the country, that's not there. Masjid doesn't. They care about who makes prayer and who does Jum'ah, and that's about it, man. Lock up the doors. Like, okay, so what can we do, right? Renting out a gym for young kids, 12, 13, 14, making a basketball clinic for them, bringing NMBT and doing it, a homegrown NMBT for us. Working with Masjid, reaching out to youth in the community in high schools. It's like, if we don't do it, it's like, well, who's gonna do it? Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else is going to take that responsibility. That's if we're committed enough. I know you guys maybe know Juju. He's the one schooling you guys usually win the championship. You guys know Juju, right? Juju's homegrown in Brooklyn. Like if Juju, if Juju can travel 3,000 miles to play ball and be competitive, and he loves it. Like how come we can't create that love in our localities with young people? How come we're the ones that can't do it? We're always waiting for somebody else to do it. How come we can't start it? We can definitely be like, oh, I'm not a sheikh. Good. We don't need you to be a sheikh. It's like we don't have to wait for this utopic thing to start a basketball clinic for our youth. You don't need that. You don't need to start a basketball tournament. You don't need nobody from Egypt or Pakistan is going to come do it. It's our responsibility, right? This new wave of Muslims in this country, we got to be the ones to start organizing it. We got to take the leadership role. And I'm going to be honest, again, second point. The things we've seen, and I'm sure you guys have put on the news, right? Crazy stuff going on. It's like, subhanAllah, in 1 minute, Muslims, revolutions and, they're changing and they're trying to become better and get justice and rights. It's like 1 minute we're like, wow. The next minute, it's just like, we went back to being animals, man. It's just like, I saw a 70-year-old dude jumping on a burnt car, yelling and screaming, like, what are you doing? It's not kids. It's like, you're an old man. What are you doing? But subhanAllah, there's no ability to express yourself in countries back home. In countries, they can't express themselves. They can't be like, yeah, let's clean up the streets. Let's do a youth work program. Like, no, they can't do that. They're oppressed. It's like, but we can show them. That's what I was telling Juju, right? We just started like, a football league. I was telling the guys that, start a small football league just for Brooklyn. It's like 8 teams. But I told them, man, one day we're going to be the Muslim national football league. It's like, you got to have that vision, man. You got to have the vision of leading the community, not just like, oh, I just come play ball. Alhamdulillah, we lost in the second round. Like, that's good. It's good to come, but it's like, what are you taking home with you? Are you taking home that love, that bond, that chemistry? Are you calling, yo, Muhammad, man, come through to our city, whatever, Phoenix, LA, it doesn't matter. It's like, come do something over here. And if he can't do it, it's like, I'll try to set it up. You try to come help me out. It's okay. Right? We got to start leading, especially the young kids, especially the younger community. What are they going to grow up doing? Gangbangers locked up in the streets, in jail, selling drugs. That's all I see. People go to school. We got schools with 3,000 Muslims in it, and they're all. It's like, well, who's going to take the lead? It's got to be the young people. It has to be. So that's the message I want to leave us with. That's what Allah Azza wa Jalla and the Prophet, that's the legacy that they left for us. Be the leaders, make positive change in whatever faction, in whatever way that you can. If ball, if it's football, if it's tennis, if it's golf, whatever it is, do it for our community, serve the community, try to make a change. And wallahi, those things, more than any lecture, wallahi, thugs, they don't change from lectures. Gangbangers and drug dealers, they don't change from a lecture. I see him in khutbahs, man. Sometimes I give khutbah and I know, man, this dude's he's messed up. But it's like, this khutbah's not going to help him. But wallahi, coming together and doing a basketball tournament, man, he would change. Because love, start with what I want to end with. I started with that love, chemistry, and brotherhood. That's what changes people. That's that connection. Those things are what really, really affect people's lives. It's like, man, I could feel good, and I don't have to be around those bums I'm always around. It's like I changed my life when you're around good people. So that's the message that I want to send home. Take it back to your community. Right? Take it back to your city, to your masjid, to your school. Let's start small. It's okay. But start. Do something small. Try to work out, try to network with other Muslims. If not, it's okay. Try to do it on your own. Even if it's 10 Muslims, man. Every Sunday morning, I take 10 Muslim kids, 10 years old, and I just go play ball with them. Try to just teach them on their fundamentals. Wallahi, that's a positive change. That's positive change. And if everybody does that, subhanAllah, things will be so much better. Not only for Muslims, but also for non-Muslims. Obviously, making that bigger change and that bigger effect. Inshallah. I ask Allah to give us the ability and give us the aid and to allow us to, listen to what we've heard and to implement. Inshallah ta'ala. Are there any comments or questions?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely you can feel free. If not, Muhammad is the head honcho.
No.
Right? He's the long boss. If you guys definitely need anything from him, inshallah ta'ala, you can reach out.